So, people, welcome to the What's Been Going On of this week from the 22nd to the 28th of July. And as you can see, I'm back home, not for long because I came here yesterday and tomorrow I'll leave again. But this has been the most hectic, the most crazy week of the year. I don't think it will, no, this will be the most crazy week of the year. It's impossible for me to have a crazier week than this. And just a lot of things happened. This will probably be a very long What's Been Going On, but I have to say it, I have to tell what happened. So, on Monday, this is just on Monday. Look, this is the start of the week. First, I go to a lake. So, it's the first time in my life getting into a lake, like inside of it. I've never done it. Maybe I've been scared, or I just didn't like the idea of getting into a lake. There's something called skinny dipping. I didn't know that was very famous until I was in Switzerland and I saw it with my own eyes in a very public place. So I meet up with Natalie. So Natalie has been probably the closest person in this trip to me. So I go with Natalia and we go into the lake. So it is lots of people. I didn't like that, so we go to a place like with less people. I get into the lake. It feels very weird. The floor was full of algae and it was very slippery. It was like you can slip into it very easily. There were fish around and there were boats going by and all of this, and this is a lake very close to Stockholm, so it's already like that's we're just getting to a lake. That's okay. Then at that same night, I go to Natalia's house because she's having like a party, like a small party. So we're like 3 or 4 people, and she's half Swedish, half Mexican. She has a full-on bottle of tequila for like 3 people or 4. I don't remember that well. Then that bottle magically finishes, and then we go. And then I do for the first time in life something called snooze, which is some patches that is very very famous in Sweden. Everyone in Sweden do them. In every store that you go, they sell snooze. So I do that snooze. It's not that good. It's spicy. My lips are not feeling that well. Then I spit it. You shouldn't eat that snooze, never in your life, because if not, you go to the hospital. And they told me that many Swedish people, the first time they try snooze, they vomit. And I was not to that point, but I didn't like it at all. So already I'm not feeling the best. And then we go to a place and we meet up the coolest group of Swedish people in my life. We're like 4 dudes. I mean, one guy that lives in LA, another girl from Sweden that's an actress, and Natalie's there. Then the friend that was in her house at the beginning with the tequila was there. Oh, as well, in the house with the tequila, we put in Latino music to some levels that the neighbors are probably very angry about. So we stayed with those people. I think, the coolest conversation I've had the whole year with those group of Swedish people. They were all my age, so that was very good. I really enjoyed that. And then we go to a club named F12. That is the coolest club I've been to in my life. It was everyone in the club was crazy, ridiculous, handsome. Like there were some levels of just supermodel levels. Everyone was supermodels. When I Googled it, the first thing that appears is like Post Malone in the F12. It was something nuts. And as well, it's close to Royal Palace. And they checked me, like, you have no idea. They checked my ID for like 10 minutes, but since we were with a big group and there were already friends of the friends inside of the club, then they let me get in. But they almost didn't let me get in, those nice guards. And then we get in. Lots of things going on all the time. It was amazing. Lots of dancing, lots of jumping, lots of whatever the things that happened there happen. Only Swedish people. It was packed. This is a Monday night. It is packed with the prettiest people I've been in a group in my life on a Monday night. On a freaking Monday. Then the girl I'm with, so Natalia, smokes. Turns out we're not in France. You cannot smoke at a club. So they throw her out just because she smoked, which was, I think, illegal. Well, not illegal, but I felt very... It's like, come on. Like, she just lighted up a cigarette. It was not inside of the club. She went outside. They didn't let her. They threw her out. But since I was with her, I'll not let her go out as well alone. So then I accompany her to her place. And then by the time I get home, I'm not sure what time it is. This is very, very late. And I order an Uber to go back home. 2, 3, 4 a.m. I don't even remember. And then the Uber, it's a guy from Samoa. And we have the coolest conversation ever. Because he moved there when he was a kid, so we just started speaking. And he asked me, oh, how are the Olympic Games in France? I'm like, I'm not from there, but thank you. And they're like, oh, really cool, I want to go to play football. I'm like, yeah. But we speak for a good while, and I forgot how cool it is to speak with Uber drivers, because here in France I never take Ubers, but back home, well, in the country I was born, I used to take Ubers all the time because they were cheap and they were very convenient. Here in Europe we have public transport, so most of the times you don't really need an Uber. But at that time, the public transport was closed and I had to walk like an hour to get home. So I was like, I'm not in the best state, let's just take an Uber, it's easier. And I have a very cool convo. And then I wake up on Tuesday. Why? Because Kira, so I'm in the apartment I was staying, we had Ethan and Kira. So Kira was visiting as well as me. And he just says, oh, I want to go to a zoo. I'm like hangover, I'm not in the best state. But you know what, let's go to a zoo. So on Tuesday morning, we go to a zoo. Mind you, I'm not in a very good state. We go to a zoo. It is so expensive. It was like 50 euro. It was 500 something Swedish crowns just to get to the freaking zoo. Here it's free. So it's like, whoa, 50 euros to get into a zoo for both of us. I had a student price. Just with the student price, we still paid 50 euros. So a normal adult and a student price, it's more than 50 euros. That was nuts. And turns out the zoo is not really a zoo. It's more like a go back in time machine. So you get to see how Swedish people lived back in the day, but there's not really many exotic animals. So we wanted to go to the zoo to see tigers, to see rhinos, to see lions, bears. I think they had a bear. But the thing is, we wanted to see exotic animals. We didn't see them. So we paid 50 euros to go for a zoo. I'm not in the best state. He's neither. Then we just said, screw it, we're leaving. Where do we go to eat sushi? And in the sushi, we order a huge piece of sushi. It's like 40, 50 pieces. We're 2 dudes. We finish it. We drink a couple of beers each one. We're having a very deep combo. And then all of a sudden he says, let's go to the hotel. So in the trip here in Sweden, we always go to hotel. There's one hotel that we kind of very love, which is called the Grand Hotel of Stockholm. It's the coolest hotel in all of Stockholm. Probably my favorite hotel in the whole world. It's so cool. So let's go there. So I'm like, dude, I'm not really feeling it. And mind you, in the afternoon, I have to meet up with a girl to see the sunset with a friend. So, things don't, timing is not fitting. And then, then we go to the, then we go to the hotel. And he says, you know what, we've been drinking beer, let's drink something different, let's drink wine. So I was like, okay, he'll order 1 glass of wine. He orders a bottle of wine. We're 2 dudes. things starts going, at this moment, things just start going very fast. Then we finish the bottle. I'm like, dude, I have to leave. I have to meet up with this girl. We need to see it's a place in Södermalm where you can see the coolest sunset in all of Stockholm. Very cool place. I tell him, I can't stay anymore. And then, before he even lets me finish the sentence, he orders another bottle of wine. So we're two dudes with 2 bottles of wine each. So 1 bottle per guy. And before we've been drinking beers. Well, it's safe to say that at the end I was, it was, yeah. And then I finally leave and I'm like, dude, be careful, chill down. I was well off. I was not in the best state, but I was not bad. Him, I think he was a bit worse than me. And then I meet up with this girl. Turns out, because we have a friend in common. So a friend from my university that half Swedish, half French. We have her in common. So, I was in Stockholm, she was there. I was like, let's meet up, just a friend. And then she's Swedish, of course, she knows the spots. We got to a very cool spot in Södermalm to see the sunset. It was so cool, and then it turns out she's working in an airplane. Like, she's the person that gives drinks and all of this, and she wants to be a pilot. So that is very cool. Like, and she's telling me all the stories, the crazy story about pilots. And one thing leads to another, and she doesn't live in Stockholm. She says, "Oh, I have to leave." I'm like, okay. And then, as a joke, we joke, "Oh, but we joke as if I could come," and we're like, where exactly do you live? And then she says, "Oh, I live in a place that's 1 hour away by train." So what happens? Next morning, I wake up in that city, 1 hour away. I don't remember much of what happened. Nothing bad happened. Just I woke up 1 hour away from that, and then I'm like, dude. So this is just Tuesday. This is Tuesday. The week is not even on Wednesday. It was, on Wednesday I wake up there, and I'm like, no, this cannot continue. I'm sorry. I need to chill down. This is getting too out of hand. So on Wednesday, it's a very chill day because Hira, so the other guy that was staying in the apartment, was not good at all, because after I got out, he's continued drinking a bit more. So we're both not good. I get home super late, like at 12 or 1 p.m. And I'm like, dude, today, chill down. Chill, very chill. And as well, it was the last full day of him there, because on Thursday he had to leave. So we stayed at home, we didn't do much, and then something cool happened. We have ordered a test, an ancestry test, and it had come on Tuesday. So we need to pick it up on Tuesday. Ethan tried to pick it up, but it was not possible. Why? Because it was ordered under Kira's name, so we needed the ID of Kira. So in order to pick up and he's leaving on Thursday morning, so you have to have that in mind. So the last day we have to pick up this package, it's Wednesday. And I look at the timing and then said, Kira, do you know the thing arrived? And he's like, yeah, Ethan told me that yesterday, but I didn't pay too much attention. I'm like, dude, we need your ID in order to pick it. Without you, we cannot pick that thing. And he's like, what? So we look at the timing, it's like 5:50 something, and then it said in the website that it closes at 6. Thank God it's very close to where we lived, but still we had to run like maniacs, even though we were super tired, in order to pick the package. So we get there like 5:57, 5:58, we pick it up, last package picked in the whole day, and then in home, we did the DNA test. We put a little thing in our saliva, and then we finished the DNA tests. And then we're like, oh, dude, that was close. Because if we picked it up, like if we went out of the house 10 minutes later, then we're screwed. We cannot pick that package up because Kira needs to pick it up, and on Thursday morning he's leaving. So it's like we'll be screwed. And we picked it up. We did a test. We were very tired, but since it was last night of Kira there, Ethan very kindly invited Kira to dinner. So we go to eat dinner. We're both not in the best state of of our lives. So that was Wednesday night. Thursday we have to wake up early because we need to accompany Kira to go back home. Then we accompany him, and then on Tuesday I just chilled because that was too much. That was too much, and that was just out of hand. I couldn't handle it anymore. I went to the city center just to walk because they're some of my last days in Stockholm, so I want to enjoy it. Just walking around through my favorite places, Nobel Park in Gamblestan, Solar Mound, just walking around. I loved it. And on Friday, yeah, and as well, Natalia is leaving on Friday afternoon because she has to go to her grandma's house, which is in the countryside of Sweden. So she'll be leaving Stockholm soon. So by the time she comes back, I think she came back on Monday afternoon. Well, I was leaving on Sunday night, so we couldn't see each other anymore. So we go to eat brunch together, which was very cool. We go to a nice place in Östermalm, which is a very nice place in Stockholm. We go eat brunch, we eat coffee, sandwiches, it was very nice. Then we go to a rock store, like rock and roll. I buy this, which was very nice. And then I was feeling sad. I was like, oh, I'll never see Natalia again. This is sad. Well, maybe I'll see her again, but we don't live in the same city. It's a bit difficult. So it's like, oh. So I'm feeling sad on Friday. I spent all the morning with Natalia, then I leave her, then and then I think that was all of Friday. It was just Natalia. I'm feeling a bit sad because I'm living in Stockholm as well. I didn't want to. And then Saturday is Friday that it's, I'm Bob the constructor again. We go to IKEA. Ethan is moving apartments. So we need furniture. Well, I built up this huge, well, not huge, but very difficult thing. It took me like 3 hours to build it. I cut my toe in the process. We spent most of the morning in IKEA just picking the right furniture. I spent all of the afternoon and night in IKEA just building the things. My toe didn't like it. It had lots of blood in it. It was like I went back to being a constructor again, like last summer. Which I enjoyed. If I'm honest, I just put in a nice podcast. I did the IKEA building. Ethan was like, what? You did it so fast. It looked so complicated. I'm like, yeah, it was complicated, but I had a podcast on, so who cares? And on Sunday, I'll extend what's been going on of this week until the Monday of this week because it was just nuts. I go to the airplane. I go alone. I take the train to Orlando. So there's a train called Orlando Express. So I go to the airport. I get to the airport. Then what happens is everything is cool there. I go to France. I go to Marseille, but my final destination it's not Marseille. So what happened is that I had previewed a train at 6 a.m. that goes from Marseille to my home, to my town. What happened is I spent the night in the airport in Marseille. I sleep. I didn't really sleep. I slept for like 2 hours in a very uncomfortable position in a couch in an airplane with my suitcases next to me. So it was not really sleeping well with full-on lights. They didn't turn them off. And then I wait all night long until it's like 5 something a.m. And then they said that the first bus to take me to the train station in Marseille from the airport to the train station, it's like at 6:05, something around those lines, because my train was at 6:35. So mind you, I didn't sleep. I'm tired. I just want to get home. What happens is it's like it doesn't pass until 7:05. So I lose the train. Then I'm very angry because the next one is like at 8 something. So I said, screw it. I'm taking another train that goes into a connection and then into my town. So at like 7:20, there's another train. I explain the situation to the guy who comes and checks your ticket. He's like, okay, I don't mind. Everything's okay. Then I get to the other town to change from that town to my town. And there is a very angry lady. Very angry. I explained her the situation. I was like, I need to get home. I'm sorry. I had a ticket to go exactly to this place from another train, but I couldn't wait anymore. I need to get home. I was super tired. What does she do? She finds me 70 euros. 70 euros. So after I didn't sleep, after all of those headaches that I've had, after changing trains for like 2 times, after taking buses, trains, hours and hours of traveling, sleeping in an airport without really sleeping, there's a girl that takes out of my money for the week. I was very angry, very angry. Of course, I kept calm. Inside, I didn't scream at her. I explained her situation again and again, and then she said, well, if you will not pay it, I'll take your ID. And I was like, she's got a good point. I think I'll pay it. I paid it, but they took out all of like 70 euros, which for me, for food, that's a lot of money. That's what I use in a week of groceries, 70 euros. Maybe less. No, I use less. So they take more of 1 week worth of food for me. I'm very angry. Very angry. And then I get home, and the shock, you have no idea. Because the maximum temperature in Stockholm the day I left was 23. The maximum temperature here on the day I came was 35. So I went from 23 to 35 into my bed. I try sleeping, I can't because I'm just sweating like a pig. And I'm like, dude, what's happening? And then I just started thinking of what happened that week, and I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of stuff. And that's what happened this week. So thank you for watching the What's Been Going On this week. Not a crazy week with many things happening. But finally I'm home, even though tomorrow I'll be leaving. But thank you for watching it. I hope you enjoyed what's happening with my life this week, and see you next week. Bye.